Kelly Gordon, and I'm a librarian with the Carroll County Public Library's Outreach Department.
Hi, I'm Peg Pond. I'm with Carroll County's Outreach Department also. Kelly, I really enjoyed this peer coaching opportunity that we've had. You know, the observations, the feedbacks, the time that we spent together has been very valuable, even though perhaps our experience wasn't the same as some because we've had to observe different people.
Right. I think that's been one of the challenges that we faced in our specific work setting. We're a little unorthodox maybe, and the hardest thing was getting scheduled, finding one partner that you could work with multiple times on a regular basis was really challenging to us. So we compensated by deciding to not only do peer coaching and storytime programs, but to observe each other when we were partnering to do other kinds of programs, because that just made it easier for us to get it in the schedule. And so it was a little bit different than what maybe some other people did, but valuable just the same.
Oh, I think so. And for once, I really appreciated the affirmation you gave me on my best practices. It was so affirming to me to hear that from a peer. And I enjoyed also the suggestions then that came with our feedback from your observations. You said to perhaps change my pacing, to move a finger play. Those kinds of things improved my skills. I know they did.
Right, and I think it was even in a way better that we were talking about a program we had done together instead of just one of us observing the other, because we both shared the experience of doing it and could then share our feedback with each other in both, together, both ways.
I know that I found the short form very usable and just met my needs very well.
A lot less cumbersome in the process. Let's see. Also, I think when we tried to think back on what was our greatest learning from this, for me it was probably my increased knowledge of the terminology around early literacy. And then from that, how to incorporate some of these reading road tips, these different tips related to early literacy, into a program, especially a storytime program, in a way that didn't interrupt the flow of the program, felt like it belonged there, it was an organic part of what we were doing. And that was one of the biggest challenges, but at the same time the biggest learning, I think.
But you also came up with that wonderful idea about rephrasing some of the lingo, some of the jargon, and so that it made it so accessible and it made it resonate with our parents and our daycare providers and made it very usable. You know, we found them sharing with us as we went back their own activities and stories that they had used to reinforce our emergent literacy road tips.
Right.
It was wonderful. And
trying to do it that way, to say them in very everyday language, I think it was also ended up being more accessible to the children that were there, the older children especially, that they could get something out of the comment. We weren't just talking over their heads at the adult, but we were talking to them as well. And it felt, to me, just felt more natural, like it flowed with the program.
I think that the peer coaching experience has definitely strengthened my skills, and I've appreciated your honesty and your confidentiality as we've shared and made observations and brainstormed with each other. Those sessions have been absolutely valuable.
It seems like it was, even though it was hard for us to schedule it, it was easy for us to do it once we did it, because we already worked very collaboratively together and draw off of each other's strengths and talents, and so we're used to doing that, and it was just a reinforcement of that already successful sharing.